What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode 36 of The Scope, your favorite FPS news show. I'm going to go ahead and say it's your favorite if you're here. I mean, that's a little bit presumptive, but I'm going to say it's your favorite. I'm going to tell you that. My left, your right, co-host extraordinaire, Call of Duty weapons expert, your go-to guide for everything Call of Duty, BuffNerd Gaming. What's up, man?
What an intro. How's it going?
I don't practice them in front of the mirror or anything. Like I don't.
Not at all.
No, I don't do that kind of stuff.
You're gonna give the best intros, damn it, no matter what.
That would be weird. So we're not doing that.
Not at all. No, I'm good, man. How's everybody doing? Glad to have everyone here. A lot of COD stuff to talk about. We got some other really good items too, so I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, it should be a really good show. I know a lot of people are gonna be looking for the COD stuff, but we are an FPS news show, so there's a few things to talk about. Get out of the way first. I don't think it will be a lot of stuff. It won't take too long. We'll get into the juicy stuff that everybody's wanting to talk about. Yeah, before we get too crazy started, thank you guys so much for being here. We are broadcasting to several different channels, so the mixed chat is on the screen, so you guys keep in touch with that so you can see what people are saying on other channels, as well as being part of the show. I love checking out what you guys do when you weigh in on different topics. Chat, like Buff and I were talking before we went live, you guys have been absolutely killing it in the chat. Super good conversations going on there, and really good questions at the end of the show, which we hopefully will have time to get to. I think we should. So sound good?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
I'm gonna catch you incredibly and completely utterly off guard with these first few stories because they kind of just happened.
All right, I'm ready.
One thing I wanted to talk about, it's kind of big for just video game journalism in general. I think Tom Henderson has come out with a new website, doing his own website rather than freelancing stuff, called Insider Gaming. So it's pretty cool. This isn't even on the topics list, guys. I'm absolutely freestyling right here. It's pretty cool. So they did an exclusive today, some insider stuff about a new PlayStation that's coming out with a detachable disc drive. So there's going to be a disc drive PS5 coming soon. And I think he has several of his other colleagues that are also insiders that are around to corroborate stories. And it should be a really cool website to keep our eye on. And then, like, right before we went live, something happened and they posted a story and I thought it was hilarious and it's kind of drama filled and I wanted to talk to you about it. Ooh. So, yeah, what happened? On top of, did you see all the GTA leaks, like the Grand Theft Auto leaks and stuff?
I saw like a little. I only saw a little bit of them, like scrolling through Twitter, so I really don't have the full context of everything that was leaked.
I think everything was leaked. Like, I feel like they're gonna make a movie about this one day. Like, the guy leaked it, then he had the balls to go back to like Rockstar and say, trying to work out a deal with them, and then he also allegedly got the source code, so like the actual code of the game itself, and was trying to sell it for 6 figures online, and then somebody bought it for 5 Bitcoins, which is over $100,000. But it wasn't actually the guy. So someone got scammed claiming they had it. Someone sent him 5 Bitcoins, and then that wasn't really the person.
Oh my God.
So the other leaker guy is like deleting, like it's just absolutely wild. It's crazy.
That sounds insane. Good God.
I think it's going to be a movie one day. I mean, GTA 6 is just going to be, like the biggest game of all time. By the time it comes out, It's going to be absolutely huge. And I saw some of the leaks because like they were everywhere, and a lot of people said it looked crappy. And then there were a lot of game devs saying they felt sorry for him because they saw it before it was ready. I was incredibly impressed. Like the only thing I could pick apart from it was like the lighting, and that's obviously something they do at the end of games. Still like 2 years from coming out, and they're this far along. The physics and the models and stuff looked wild, like crazy. I thought it looked pretty good. And then Rockstar came out and said today that they don't think, everyone was worried about, since the source code was leaked, that they were going to have to delay it even farther, and Rockstar came out and said that's not the case. It should go on as planned. They're trying to contain it, and their lawyers are going to go insane.
Oh yeah.
Like it's gonna be. I think they're gonna track the person down. I'm pretty sure, and they're probably gonna go to prison.
It must have been. Is there any word if it was like an employee, former employee, or is somebody hack in and get the code somehow?
They hacked in allegedly, and I mean that was even in Rockstar's their announcement today. They said that the network, they had like a network intrusion. So somebody hacked into their servers and got the stuff.
Oh my god.
Crazy. And you know what? That's not even the crazy story I was talking about. Which it probably is. It probably is the most crazy story going on right now. Technically not first person shooter stuff, but 100% video game related. And it's going to be really interesting to see where it goes and what happens when this guy gets caught. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto got Grand Thefted. So
yeah, I guess so. Ironic.
That's the headline. You guys can use it. Super Sylv came up with it in chat. Let's use it. The other thing I wanted to talk about, which is kind of funny, is a YouTuber by the name of Dan Allen Gaming got caught and exposed as the real insider. So this was an account actually I found the other day, the real insider on Twitter. And this was just put out on Tom's new website, Insider Gaming. And this was kind of one of the up and coming insider accounts on Twitter. It was gaining a lot of follows and stuff. But it turns out it was this Dan Allen Gaming guy who has almost 200 subscribers on YouTube. And what he was doing was he was getting invited to these early events and these press events and stuff and breaking the NDA under an anonymous name and starting this account himself. And he got caught. He replied to one of the real insider's tweets with the wrong account. So then people realized it was him. And then everybody went back and looked at when he started reporting on stuff and when the real insider reported stuff. And it was like the same time. So like he got.
Damn. All because he was on the wrong Twitter account at the wrong time.
Yep. So if you guys are trying to grow a channel and you're trying to leak stuff, be sure what account you're tweeting from. All right. That's what we learned today. So jeez. No, that was just crazy. There's so much crazy stuff going on. The other stuff, I guess, is not so crazy. We can get right into the next thing. You tagged me in this. I had seen it too just a little bit before.
Yeah, this is a good one. I thought this would be a great one to talk about.
Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on this. So I'll read it really quick for the podcast listener. This was reported by Battlefield Bulletin on Twitter is where I saw it and where Buff saw it. Andrew Wilson, CEO of EA, did a Q&A session with Goldman Sachs, huge investment firm, talking about the future of the company. And he was asked about Battlefield and basically the kind of shortcomings of the last couple iterations of Battlefield, and says, I don't think we delivered in the last two iterations of that in the way we should have. There's a lot of work we've got to do there, but at its core, it's an extraordinary IP. And what we've seen in the world of entertainment is that great IPs are resilient. And we've seen movies, not live up to expectations of franchises. Star Wars might be one such franchise. And then you can see what happens when you get the right creative team involved, how they can completely reinvent and grow a franchise. And I think we have an extraordinary creative team. I can't read. Involved in Battlefield now. We have unbelievably ambitious to own the first person shooter space, particularly as it feels to creation. And then he speaks so weird. And in a world where there are questions as to the future of Call of Duty and what platforms that might be on and might not be on, being a platform agnostic and completely cross-platform with Battlefield, I think, is a tremendous opportunity. Got through it. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's. I'm glad they admitted that they messed up the past couple titles there. That's I guess something for sure. I think that would go like a long way with the community is that, hey, they weren't what they probably should have been. So that's good. They definitely still have a talented team also. So I think you and I have talked about this so much. Like, just make a Battlefield game. You don't need to reinvent anything. There's no crazy meetings we need to have and like putting all ideas up on the board and coming up with the best idea. Like, the formula for Battlefield is there. It's always been there, but they've just been trying to reinvent the wheel in some weird ways the past couple iterations of the game, which is just unfortunate because they've really missed. It used to be Battlefield versus Call of Duty every year, and now Battlefield's just kind of a joke of what it used to be at this point.
Yep. I think he started out like as it sits on the screen, the second paragraph was okay. Saying, an IP is like almost never truly dead just because they still it still has that massive reach, right? Like the Battlefield is a huge game, or was a huge game. So when people hear there's a new Battlefield coming out, no matter what, they're at least going to check it out. So it's hard to actually kill an IP. And then he gives the example of Star Wars, which was all right. And then talking about the creative team, they have an all new creative team, and that's good and stuff like that. But I got 2/3 pissed off when he's talking about the future of Call of Duty. In my opinion, like, I feel like he needs to keep Call of Duty out his mouth and all the other franchises too, and just make a Battlefield. Like, he's kind of implying there that, we can get Call of Duty fans if the merger goes through and it's only on Xbox. We can get those PlayStation players from Call of Duty. Stop trying to get players from other franchises. Stop trying to get players from Apex with your specialists. Stop trying to get Call of Duty players with your quirky, funny quips and operators and stuff, and make Battlefield. Like you said, the recipe is incredibly obvious. But yeah. I just wish they would, and maybe Vince will do this, is stay in their own lane and focus on what made Battlefield awesome, and do that. That would be, please do that. Like, because as it sits now, it's more like COD, where you can play with 3 friends in a 4-person squad. The lobby gets disbanded every time. There's no server browser. Back in the day, with platoons, you could have a ton of people together. Even in Battlefield 5, as soon as that, like last year, I'd have a bunch of people in stream that wanted to play. Hop in. This is the server ID. You could get on the same team. You'd be in multiple squads and stuff, and a ton of friends could play together. And like, you can't even do that. There's no platoons. There's no tools for creators. It's just not a community game like it used to be.
No rent a server. You can't have like renting a server and things like that. That gave the game more legs, and people. That's why like people still play Battlefield 3 and even 4 today, especially like on PlayStation 4. There's still servers out there I can load up now, and there's the servers that I favorited, years ago, on and off, still out there doing their thing. And it brings the community together, allows you to play the game you want to how you want to play it. It's just, they've gotten so far away from the Battlefield formula, and Battlefield Hardline was I viewed that as kind of an off. Okay, they need a year off, and they still want to put out a game. But for Battlefield 1, now the Battlefield 1 was a great game, and although it was really off direction, it wasn't modern by any means, obviously. And I thought they should have gone modern again after Hardline. But regardless, Battlefield 1 was a great game. Kept me entertained for like 4 or 5 months, and then I went back to Battlefield 4. So you would think after Battlefield 1, okay, we just did a Cops and Robbers, we just did a World War 1. Now it's time to shift back to modern, right? We have all the new graphics, the new tech. Like Battlefield 1 graphics were amazing, and I thought that was a time to go back to another modern setting for Battlefield. Instead, they chose to go to World War 2, which I thought was a huge mistake, but obviously that title bombed for obvious reasons, and then 2042 bombed for a number of reasons too. So I mean, it's just really weird. Not only have they made wrong, in my opinion, bad decisions in terms of the setting of the games, but like you said, just gameplay mechanics and parts of the franchise that have been there for a long time, like rent a server, platoons, all of that is gone, and it's really, really weird. There's really nothing recognizable about Battlefield anymore. You don't even have classes anymore, which is just crazy. And you have these specialists. It's really, really weird, man. I don't know what decision making was going on there previously, but I hope this new creative team can look at Battlefield objectively and realize, obviously, it's obvious what needs to happen here. So let's just do it. It's odd to me also that they need to bring in Vince and Pell, all these new creative members that they're talking about and they're touting. I mean, you and I could go in there right now and give them the exact direction they need to go with the game. So, I mean, I'm glad they're bringing in these creative experts, but like Jesus, just make Battlefield.
Yeah, make Battlefield, please. And I don't know how I
Yeah.
feel about it too, because a lot of people are like, Vince is gonna save us, and I mean, he's never really made like a flop of a game, but he's also never made a Battlefield. So you have Vince Ampella from COD, you have Byron Bede from COD, and Apex and Titanfall, Vince is from, and then you have Marcus Leto from Halo, and you brought all these titans of FPS gaming from other franchises.
Right.
But I want to see Battlefield.
It worries me. It worries me because, like you just said, they're bringing in people from other franchises, and that's where I felt Battlefield 2042 should have been a return to form. And instead, like you mentioned earlier, they tried to appease to every gaming audience with what's popular and shove it into a title. Regardless what went wrong with the direction for this game with development, if it did start as something that was supposed to be a battle royale, we've gone over the reworks of the engine, which delayed everything. But you don't need a creative team. You just need anybody who's paid attention to the franchise. Any fan who's been around for 10 plus years can tell you where the game needs to go. And the perfect Battlefield game is modern, not near future, not slightly in the past. It needs to be present day. We're probably looking at a 2024 Battlefield. So it needs to be 2024, and it needs to be a combination of Battlefield 3 and 4. You need classes, you need generic soldiers, not specialists. It just needs to be Battlefield game. You need to have a lot of weapons, you need to have a lot of vehicles, you need destruction, you need big maps, and you need platoons, you need run a server program. All of that needs to come back. And that's I feel is the very last chance that franchise is going to get, because they've done the fan base wrong for a long time now. So they shouldn't have one more chance. We're lucky that they are going to have one more chance, and hopefully they actually do something with it, because we can say it over and over and over. It's obvious what needs to happen. Just do it. It's very simple.
Just do it, please. Like Nike, just do it. What it is we've said it 100 times. In a nutshell, we want Battlefield like 3-4, that type of game, updated with like Battlefield 5's movement and like engine, like, because it looked great, ran great, with Battlefield 1's like immersion. And we're cooking.
Yeah, and this whole specialist that they did, I don't know what they were thinking, first off, but
microtransactions.
But the problem is, you think microtransactions. Look what Call of Duty has done with Modern Warfare 2 and about to be Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2 coming up here. The operator system is perfect because you can have microtransactions. You can have weapon blueprints. You can have operators with different skins. And I've always thought, I think we talked about this a couple shows back, but like for Battlefield 4, I thought it would be great if you had, okay, we have your generic classes, assault, engineer, everything, and your generic soldiers. But if you could unlock different skins for those soldiers, if you could purchase different skins for those soldiers and like unlock or purchase Navy SEALs, you and your friends could be like an elite group that had to either work to unlock something or buy a bundle, which you had to work to unlock different types of skins. There's plenty of opportunity for microtransactions within just operators without having to rework the core mechanics of the game and throw in specialists in a setting, a game that they don't belong in whatsoever. And it really, everything they did just threw balance out the window. So that's where I'm concerned, is they're bringing all these people, and DICE has had this bad habit of trying to do something crazy and reinvent the wheel and have like an awe factor for their game in the recent titles, that they've kind of just forgotten how to implement a good game. We haven't really had anything resembling what should be a finished product in a long, long time. Battlefield 4 was the last one that I still play to this day. And I still prefer Battlefield 3 over Battlefield 4 any day of the week. So weird.
Yep.
I'm cautiously optimistic, but I mean, they really need to prove it to me in order for me to get behind them again.
The bright side is, in the last week, you've had Vince Ampella and Andrew Wilson both say that 2042 missed the mark for different reasons. Whoa.
Can I just, Avery?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, Avery, thank you, brother. That's 3 streams in a row, brother. Thank you so much. You're out of control, dude.
Shit. That's awesome.
You're out of control, Avery. I really appreciate that. Avery with the 100 dollar super chat, guys. Can we get a goat in chat for Avery again, please? Avery, if you're in the Discord, please message me there. Hit me up on Twitter or something, brother. I really appreciate the support. You've been funding the channel the past couple days here, so I really appreciate it.
That is awesome, dude. That's so cool. Shout out Avery.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Super big
Going
shout
ham,
out.
man.
But yeah,
I forgot what we were saying.
It doesn't matter.
You pick it up.
No, there's just to sum up what they've said. It's like the executives and the higher ups are finally saying that they messed up, which is good. You know, the first step is admitting you messed up. But at the end of the day, this is also this is investor speak. This is trying to ease the minds of investors, not really players. So keep that in mind when you hear what he's saying. But the whole thing of, you know, Call of Duty's not going to be maybe on PlayStation. Like, stop overall, just stop trying to get people or players from other franchises and try to bring mechanics from other franchises to pull them over and build a Battlefield, and people will come play it. Like,
yeah, I mean, exactly. You nailed it. They just need to do Battlefield. That's plain and simple. And everything you said is perfect. I really just need them to make a Battlefield game. And Jake with the 499, thank you, brother.
Shout out Jake.
Shout out Jake. I really just need a Battlefield game. You know, I really miss, and it sucks that you didn't get into what was the first Battlefield you played, Crash?
I went back and played the old ones afterwards, but like the first one I played when it was new was a little bit at the tail end of 4, and then I really got into it with Battlefield 1. I like really dove into Battlefield 1.
Okay, so like nothing, and that's good. I'm glad you got to go back and play. And Battlefield 1 was good. I mean, I really enjoyed it for the first couple months for sure. But like nothing in my mind will ever beat Prime right on release, like Prime life cycle of Battlefield 3. Battlefield 4 was good. It was fine. It was not my favorite, but it was modern. But Battlefield 3, like nothing beat that hype, because that was when they went. That's when they went in to compete with Modern Warfare 3, and they did everything right. And that's when that was their best effort to outsell Modern Warfare 3. And I think there was some chart, we've talked about this a couple times. I need to look it up, because I think Battlefield 3, it wasn't the best selling, but like retention wise, at the time it was best selling. Then like player retention was better than anything else, at least up until a certain point. So it was really, really good. Jesus Christ, Avery, Avery Wilson with another $100. Avery, thank you, brother. You're out of control. Woo! Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Much love. Thank you, man.
The rest of the show doesn't even matter. You just want to shut this thing down?
Man, Avery just going ham. I appreciate it, dude. But yeah, they just need to make a Battlefield game, dude. We can say it. We're gonna say this over and over, I feel like, every show. And I'm worried they're not gonna do it, is the problem. I'm scared to death that they're not gonna make I mean, what are they gonna do? Because Tom was saying like the plan was going forward was specialists. And even though they're bringing in classes now, they're still not getting rid of specialists. They're fitting them into a category. I mean, they need to go the operator route, is what they need to do for different classes, and have skins for different classes, and have the generic soldier for those classes. And there needs to be factions. There's a lot of just logical changes that need to be made, right? So I really hope they make them. Yep,
me too. So let's move on and talk about the Road to Vostok test coming up. With all this stuff going on with Modern Warfare 2, that's what everybody's talking about in the FPS genre. And guys, again, we will get there. You can see on the topics list a couple more things. I don't want to lose sight of this. This is something that I think has a ton of potential to check out, and that is the Road to Vostok test. Last time we know, the developer has said that over on Twitter coming up, he will be submitting the demo towards the end of the week, and that usually takes 3 to 5 days for Steam to okay on. So there is a potential, once the Modern Warfare, I can see the timing working out pretty good, that when the Modern Warfare 2 beta is over, we could potentially be playing a demo of Road to Vostok. So that would be pretty cool. Again, a single developer, we've talked about on the show quite a bit, but I don't want to lose sight of it. Here are the things that are going to be able to test the feature list in the public demo 1. There's a lot of stuff on there. Okay. Is there anything you want to say, Buff?
Yeah, I want to say Avery. You don't have to do that, man. But Jesus Christ, Avery with a $200 super chat. So that's 400 total here on the stream. I don't know what to say. Ed Avery, just message me off stream, brother. You don't need to donate anymore. I really appreciate it, guys. You guys don't need to be donating or any super chats, but goddamn, man, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Woo. Man, you're gonna be able to buy some sweet bourbon with that.
More of a Scotch man, but yeah, maybe you'll persuade me.
That's insane, Avery. It's incredible, dude. Holy shit. Yeah. So where do we go from here? Road to Vostok. It's coming out, so it should be a thing. That was awesome. Thank you for the membership. I really appreciate that. On the YouTube channel over on this side. Yeah, procedural controller movement, inertia, weapon collision and handling, arm stamina, inventory system, container system, loot simulation, item placement, a lot of stuff. Time of day, weather, post-processing, rendering, transition system, AI spawn, dual render scopes, random barricades, flashlights and laser, campfires, the radio, the Vostok radio, which is an incredible feature that he's working on, where you can listen to the radio in game and it can talk to you about weather that's coming, what's going on in game, if there's any events and stuff like that, and some old school music and stuff that he's working on. So that is really cool. Then they're going to do ground caches, FPS profiler, demo sandbox level. Oh, and also with the radio, I forgot that he's attempting to do that to where it's like a Spotify radio station. So even if you're not playing the game, you can listen into what's going on in the game. Super cool. I talked about it on the Pores and Pixels podcast I was on last night, and those guys were pretty floored by that. Demo sandbox level, village map, random map event. And as far as guns, it'd be 1 pistol, 1 SMG, 1 shotgun, 3 assault rifles, and 2 rifles is what you can check out. And shout out Road to Vostok in the chat. Super awesome of you to be here. I appreciate that. And we're looking forward to getting our hands on it on this game and seeing what it's about, because it really does look cool. What do you think?
Shout out to Rosa Vostok in chat. I love when he joins. It's always good to have him here. But no, this game is something I'm looking forward to, and I watch every single one of his updates videos, and this game looks amazing. Like this is something I really want to play, especially the recent videos, the developer diaries he did with the weapon animations, how the weapons look. Like I'm very impressed with how good the weapons look in this game, and just how this is one of those games, like the environment, everything just looks, this is something I can get. I know it's only like a single player to start, obviously, and I don't know if he has plans to expand on that at all, but regardless, this is something I can get immersed in heavily. And it's hard to find. We were talking about this a couple of shows ago, is like to get a good single player type experience where you can immerse yourself and play through anything these days is few and far between. So this is going to be really fun just to get a standalone play session in. Everything this guy's doing, he's a single developer. This is the most impressive game in my mind out there right now, especially because he's a single developer on the whole game. It's crazy.
Yep, it's going to be really cool. I know when you look at these games and look at all his work in progress videos, the graphics look absolutely insane. Yeah. But then I can't wait to have it rendered on my own screen, because it's going to look even better without YouTube compression and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I can't wait to have these images rendered in real time on my screen and to see what it looks like. The immersion is going to be cool. And then it's also just really neat to follow along if you're kind of like me and interested in game development at all, to follow along with how it's going. And then you get your hands on with that, and you know, kind of like the steps to get where you are. And it's pretty cool. And he says, just keep expectations reasonable. I must mention that this first demo is just a small preview of the mechanics and visuals. No game loop stuff yet in this demo. Completely understand. So we're all excited, but he is saying in chat, keep your expectations in check. It's just to kind of see how things are running and check out those few mechanics that are listed on that tweet. But yeah, I'm really excited to look at it and test some of that stuff out and see how it sounds and looks and stuff like that. And then if I remember right, then it will be, I think it's after this test, it's quite a while before the next one. And then I assume he's going to get into some like game loop type stuff and more things like that. So.
And I don't even know, maybe if he's still in chat, maybe he can answer. I don't even know if there was a release timeline that he had in mind. Obviously, that's dependent on how all the tests go and everything, and how development comes along as he's progressing through. But no, I mean, I wasn't expecting any really much from the demo. Just bare bones, more so technical type test, see how it's going is what I was expecting. So anything is better than nothing in my mind. This is one of those projects that I think will be supported here on the show for a long time, especially after it comes out. So I'm really excited to just even see his next videos, the weapons and everything. I mean, you guys all know I'm a gun guy, so seeing all the weapons, the optics he has, like aim points on visors and everything, just the attention to detail is amazing on the weapons alone. I mean, that's not even including everything else on in the environment, enemy AI that I've seen him messing around with on the shooting ranges. Everything just looks really good. So yeah, I'm really impressed.
The roadmap is up on the screen. Sorry, podcast listener. Public demo 2 is going to be Q3 of 2023, so it'll be about a year until the next one. But yeah, he said he's going to update the first demo 3 times before the second demo. So just awesome. I wish I had like a 10th of that planning in my life, right? I just always fly by the seat of my pants, and I'm a terrible procrastinator. And he's always like, gonna do this by this date, and then there's a video of it. It's done. It's like work in progress. Video is gonna come out this day, and it's done. Like, I just wish I could do that. That's
maybe this is somebody like we all need to align ourselves with, and he'll rub off on us, because I think we all need a little bit more of that.
Yeah. Shout out Nobody for being the podcast listener. The podcaster listener has been unmasked. Incredible.
All right.
So yeah, that's keep your eye out. And people are asking how they can get their hands on it. 2 important things: you can wish list it on Steam and keep up with the updates that happen on Steam. So that's where it's going to be. And then also, if you're passionate about it and want to support, if you go to the website roadtovostok.com, there will be a link to the Patreon as well. It's also in the YouTube video. So if you want to go back, Road to Vostok on YouTube, you can check out all the work in progress videos and a link to the Patreon there if you do want to support. So if you're passionate about it, think that it's looking good and excited about it, you can support, and then also wish list on Steam. And that's how you can keep up to date with what's going on. And the major stuff we'll have on the show here. So it'll be cool. We'll keep up on it for sure. The next thing to talk about is we have exclusive video. Pretty much exclusive. It's pretty close exclusive. The BigFry, the YouTuber, is coming out with his own first-person shooter with a team of incredibly talented developers, apparently, because they've only been working on it for a few months, and they're already to this point. If you are a member on BigFry's channel, he does post screenshots early. You can check those out. He posted his first screenshots of the game over there on the community tab on his YouTube channel, so you can check that out there. But we have video of the game. All right, exclusive video that BigFry sent to me of the game, so we can check that out pretty soon.
Are we allowed? I'm guessing we're not allowed to watch what he sent you, right? But you can probably. Oh,
he said we could.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, he said we could.
Awesome.
I'm like creating suspense right now. I have it queued up. I have to hit the button and it'll come up on the screen. I'm just creating suspense.
I did see this. I did see the screenshots today. I know you and I were talking. And he put some screenshots up on his YouTube for a community post. And yeah, it hasn't been in development long, but like, wow, this is another one. These like indie developers, teams, and single developer people, crews are just coming out with really impressive looking stuff so far.
And that's what Jim was talking about from EA, like how these engines that are, kind of being built and put out into the world are able to, people are able to get their hands on, tools that they weren't able to several years ago. So we should start seeing more of this. So, all right, I'm going to switch to it, guys, and you guys can check it out in the background. Yeah, super cool. It looks really good. Again, top left, you can see it says extremely work in progress. So this is some of the first animations they're doing in level design. But man, I really commend BigFry for doing this. I'm a super big fan of his. I've watched his channel forever. Love the dude's content. But if you guys know his content, a lot of times he's been critical of games in the past, and finally he's putting his money where his mouth is and saying, you know what, we're gonna make our own game. So getting people together, getting a crew of folks together to come up with something, and this is kind of some of the first stuff he's been doing. I think someone who's been critical of games to go ahead and like come out with one on their own is incredibly ballsy, but like mad respect.
No, this is the first I'm obviously seeing of this. This looks amazing. So, so I'm sorry, maybe I missed it. What was the time this has been in development for? How long?
I think 3 months.
Has he told you the engine they're using for this?
Unreal 4.
Unreal 4. Okay. And do you have any idea what the development team size is, or no?
He shouted him out on Twitter, and I think there was like 6 or 7 of them is all that had Twitter handles.
Wow. That's awesome. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just as blind as you as far as like modern game development. I did like bare bones stuff in college, but Unreal 4 apparently, I mean, they have a lot of assets available, right? Mm-hmm. I'm assuming is so. I mean, that makes it easier. But I mean, this is awesome. This is really impressive. This is another really great looking game that I'm definitely looking forward to playing. And again, the attention to detail on the weapons, the reload animation. I see a leaning mechanic there, which is really cool. And just when the weapon's firing, it's looking really cool. And you see the brass coming out. So this is another really impressive. Not even, I mean, do we even call it an indie title? I guess it is, right? But it's not an official. Yeah, it would have to be.
There's no publisher.
Yeah, it's not like an official. I don't even know if he's started like his official, like gaming studio or not. It's just BigFry's gaming studio. So
yeah, I don't
seems
think
like
so.
It's just a group of people, right? It's just awesome.
Yeah, and listening to him talk about it in his streams and stuff, he's like, they're just trying to put a really good game together that people like. And he's here. Get it off the screen. He's here. Oh no.
Making an appearance.
Oh no. Sorry. No, super cool. You said I could look at it. We could look at it. So no, we're just super impressed. We got BigFry here, Pours of Pixels, Road to Vostok. Everybody's hanging out with us, man. It's so cool. Yeah. So no, it looks really cool. I'm excited to see where they go. I think obviously the dream is, if this does well, that he would, hopefully be able to put a studio together someday, and having a voice like that, where he's played so many games and knows what people want in a video game and knows what it takes to make a good game. I'm super excited to see how it comes out. This should be really cool.
Yeah, down the road, I definitely want to. I know you've had BigFry on before. I'd love to get him on and talk to him about this down the road. When this progresses and he's comfortable talking about it. And then Road to Vostok also. I mean, these are two guys that have great projects here that I'm going to be looking forward to. I think we're going to be talking about these two games quite a bit going forward. So this is impressive stuff. I'm really looking forward to more of this. This type of game is this and Road to Vostok, like the movement and weapon, everything's right up my alley. So I'm loving this. Sometimes we talk about impressive games that I really wouldn't play, but I would watch. But these are ones that I'm gonna get deep into.
Same here, and I want to get better, and these get me excited to try to get better at playing single player games, because I don't always want to sweat it out. And like in a night when I'm like gaming and playing with my friends and stuff, and I drink too much, and I can't hang in like Rainbow Six or S&D or Gunfight or something crazy. It would be so nice just to pop in a single player game like this and still feel immersed and have cool mechanics and still be able to play well. And I'm just excited to see there's some really cool stuff going on. And we talked about this with Jim a little bit about like these engines that there are separate companies that work on engines are giving more and more people the tools they need that they wouldn't have had 5 to 10 years ago. So I think we're going to see some really cool stuff like this, and it couldn't come at a better time with the state, in my opinion, with the state of AAA gaming and where it's all at. Like I couldn't be at a better time to have some of these indie developers cranking out some really cool stuff who aren't building games. And I talked about this on Pours and Pixels. Like there's some insane patents and stuff about how these large companies make mechanics around just getting you to play the game and buying microtransactions. These people are making games because they love making games and they want people to enjoy them. And that's what I'm excited about, getting those tools in the hands of those people that love video games and they want now I'm not saying AAA developers don't want that, because a lot of them do. I'm sure they care about their work and take pride in their work and have immense amount of talent. But when you have a large publisher like EA, like Activision, who's beholden to shareholders, it has to come out a certain way, right? And I'm excited for these indie studios to have the tools they need, the freedom they need, and the love of the game to make something cool. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, you said it. There's no better time than now, because there's one, as far as like first person shooters go, there's one out there, and that's Call of Duty. Only Infinity War Call of Duty, as far as I'm concerned. So the field is very slim with shooters. So now it's basically, we're in the age of the indie developers right now, and there's countless games out there that are looking better than anything we've seen from AAA studios in a long, long time.
Yep. No. Thank you, Big Fry, for popping in chat. Thank you so much for sending me this clip. It means a lot to me that you would think highly enough of us to check it out. And yeah, dude, we're really excited and going to 100% keep up on everything. Because yeah, like I said, I want to cover it AAA stuff, but I really want to support and do all we can for indie studios and talk about them, because I'm just excited. I don't know, there's a bunch of reasons. They also have more flexibility to innovate and try different things, not being beholden to a large publisher is pretty cool. It's pretty freeing, I would imagine. So I'm excited.
Yeah, they can put the gamer first, and I'm curious if Big Fry's still in here. Maybe he can just answer this in the comments as we're going here. But I'm curious, because I started watching him, I think probably during the World War III coverage at some point there way back. I'm curious if what prompted him to start this project, because I'm guessing his frustration with everything that was coming out at the time, and especially where World War III, like the potential there, there's a potential with lots of games, but World War III is one of those games that just hasn't come to fruition, I feel, and the potential was there. So I'm curious if just the frustration with everything prompted him to say, damn it, I'm going to do it myself. Kind of what it looks like, right?
There, he said in chat, Battlefield 2042 was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. Tell me about it, dude.
All of us.
Yep. My disappointment was immeasurable, and my channel was ruined. So yeah, I'll say it that way, because yeah, true, man.
Oh man,
so true. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully, I would love to talk to Big Fry and and or one of his devs working on it, and talk about some of the stuff going on to it, and like what it's like to kind of it'd be a unique perspective to kind of tell the story of like your first foray into building a game. I mean, that's got to be like kind of emotional, and there's got to be a lot to it, a lot on your mind, and yeah, hope to be able to bring that to our community one day. Be pretty cool.
Especially Unreal engines, right? I mean, if the assets are there, it just is crazy. Because this looks amazing. I mean, DICE using Frostbite, obviously they built that in-house for Battlefield. I mean, you'd expect better, right? It looks like this game looks better than Battlefield 2042. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. It looks much more down my alley. And I mean, it even kind of has like that blue tint that Battlefield 3 had, just a little bit in the fluorescent lights and stuff. Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, I think that's something to keep our eye on for sure. I'm excited. I had something else in my head, but it completely vanished. I had something amazing to say. You guys would have liked it, I'm sure, but it's gone.
I already like it, Crash.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. No, I remember it. It's back. Welcome to being a boomer. You guys think it's dumb and you laugh at me, but it's gonna happen to you one day. So just stop it, all right, and get off my lawn. I feel like the Unreal Engine is one of the few good things. This is gonna sound terrible. One of the few good things that came out of Fortnite. I think a lot of things that came bad out of Fortnite were like microtransactions and battle passes and like the whole free to play but we'll make money on cosmetics thing. Kind of sucks, like the live service thing that everybody thought they had to try. But one thing is I feel like that taking off allowed them to put a lot of resources in the Unreal Engines and then get that out to the masses. And I think that's like one of the cool things about it. Like the only thing that Fortnite did good, in my boomer opinion.
I will agree with you there.
I need more whiskey.
Everyone knows Fortnite is my favorite game anyway, so.
Yep. anytime Buff's late to the show and we got to postpone the show, he's playing Fortnite.
I can't help myself at all, man. Crash was like, "Yo, you want to run gunfight?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm Kamehamehaing people in Fortnite right now. I'm sorry."
finding the loot llama. Is that a thing? I feel like that's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's
Totally.
out there doing stuff.
Yeah.
Riding the battle bus. So yeah, let's move on to, we've talked about some awesome indie stuff that we're looking forward to. Let's kind of talk about the one AAA game remaining standing from the 3 that have released lately, and that is Modern Warfare 2's beta. And as you folks know, the beta is going on now, and as you could potentially also know, I don't get to play it. So thanks, exclusivity. So Buff is the only one of us that have played it, and gonna talk to him a little bit about what he thought about weekend 1. I watched a lot of streams. Dude, you had some banging streams. It looked fun. It looked awesome.
Yeah, I mean, when you say it's the only last AAA shooter left standing, it kind of puts it into more perspective. But yeah, the game, dude, I'm having so much fun. I was talking about it with a man named Nobody the other day. We're just like, this is what a finished game feels like. Like, wow, this is new. This is something I haven't experienced in a long time.
Yeah, well, it better be, because it releases in like a month, so it's like,
yeah,
it's a demo.
It's so night and day compared to like the Battlefield 2042 beta. I mean, and I have nothing bad to say about it. I'm very impressed.
Cool. I have some questions for you. Since
I
had to watch on the sidelines, I gotta fix. Dude, production team, you're fired. I gotta fix the topic indicator, or else nobody knows what we're talking about. Okay. First question. This was my biggest question in watching it. The movement is obviously different. What were your thoughts on the movement?
Awesome. I love the movement. It feels, I don't know how to describe it. How do you put it into words? It just feels very more fluid, but it feels more grounded, right? Because there's no slide canceling. You can't run into attack on a slide, which is good. Your movement, it just feels more, I don't want to say like Sandstorm, because it's still obviously a very arcadey shooter, #ad. And
you want me to watch it so you get the revenue?
No, skip it. And it just feels more grounded. It feels more grounded in footstep audio. I hear people complaining about footstep audio. I mean, I really don't think it's that bad. And sometimes it's a little glitchy, and like you can tell someone's coming, but you can't tell what direction. And like that's maybe that's how it's supposed to be. But I don't think the footsteps are too loud. One thing I did notice playing a little bit today, like this evening, I was playing after work a couple games. Like if you have a bad team, you could be in for a rough go of it. So I'm looking forward to playing with like you and other members of the communities here, because I had a pretty bad team and it's just like you get wrecked. But I mean, I had a great time, dude. The movement you can see, and I left my motion blur and world blur on just because I wanted to experience the beauty of the game, and I think I'm going to leave it on after launch too, because it looks amazing, and you can tell the movement. It's much more fluid, and everything just feels more realistic, is the best way I can say.
And I would like to first reiterate, I've never gotten a weed ad before, so just get off my back about it, you guys.
What are you Googling over there?
Yeah,
over there, Crash?
I don't know. I clear that every day. So shout out weed. So what was I talking about? I forgot. I'm high. No, I'm kidding. I'm not high, guys. Relax. It's not legal in my state. The movement, was there anything that was, so I saw some like Twitter clips and stuff floating around of people doing slide canceling with like some kind of, you had to change settings and do some kind of like, man, how many ads did you put on this thing?
I didn't do it. It did it itself. I don't know.
Yeah. #paybuff.
They're gonna patch that though. I heard Jack Frags talking about that in one of his videos. They're definitely gonna patch it, right? There's no way they're not paying attention to those videos.
And then what about bunny hopping?
You know, it was really bad on Saturday. Saturday bunny hopping was like crazy. Everyone was bunny hopping into engagements. Yesterday and today, not as bad, but definitely, I think we talked about a little bit, in the chat during the stream. They need to have a little bit of like a cooldown, I feel. So you can jump, but maybe you shouldn't jump as high as you continue to jump, or some cooldown in between. If you jump like X amount of times in whatever time span, there should be a cooldown, so you can't really jump as high. I think might be something along those lines, because everyone was jumping into engagements and around corners, which kind of a pain, a little bit annoying. But I mean, honestly, I'll take it over slide canceling. I feel it's a little bit easier to counter, but it is a little rough when everybody was doing it on Saturday.
Yep. And again, I always revert to my favorite, Battlefield 5. If you just made it to where each jump, if you're chaining jumps together, each jump is subsequently less until you're not like jumping. You have to wait, and then I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best way to do it, I think.
So that would be cool, and potentially they'll patch that. Honestly, I felt like, to me, even though like you have the slide canceling was floating around clips and stuff, it felt like you had to do so much to it that it didn't seem viable. Like you had to do so many things to make it work. Like it would be really hard to aim like after doing all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, and I didn't see those clips, to be honest, but sliding itself doesn't. It's different when you're sliding in this game. Is the best thing I can say. I mean, you can you can tell it's built to slide behind cover, but your movement is a little bit limited, I feel, within your slide, and you can't fire your weapons. So I mean, slide canceling. I don't know how did it look in those clips, because you can't fire your weapons, so you have to. If they're able to work around it and slide cancel, you still can't shoot in the slide. So I mean, you have to come out of it.
It was like a slide cancel and then a jump. So, and then when you jump, then they could ADS kind of coming out of it.
Okay.
So it was a little wild.
Were they using it like very effectively, or was it weird?
The ones I saw, they were just kind of doing it off by themselves just to show how to do it. I really didn't see. There was one clip of someone just playing like methamphetamine out of their mind that Charlie Intel put out. Someone just sliding around, jumping, just looked pre-firing and crazy stuff, but they honestly didn't look like that good. But what about the dolphin dive?
I love the dolphin dive mechanic. Actually, I was a little iffy if I would like it, but I actually love that mechanic, because again, you can't shoot in it, and as soon as you land from your dive, there's like a half second delay before you can bring your gun even up to ADS to shoot. And I'm sorry about all the ads on this. I just put on mine because I didn't schedule them in there. I don't know how many I put. But I mean, I used it. I actually had a lot of fun using it to dive behind cover. Like there's a couple instances on some of the maps. I don't even remember the map name at this point, because it's still getting used to the maps, and I haven't even looked at the names. But like running, there's like an RV or a trailer RV there, and I was running across like this open parking lot to another set of cars to get an angle down like an alleyway, and I do the dive mechanic to get behind cover quick, because a lot of people kind of watch that alleyway, and then you get up and you can like start just blasting through the windows down the alleyway. I mean, it adds for some really cool firefight and engagements, I feel, because you can just get behind cover quick in that case. I mean, so sliding and a dolphin dive, those are two mechanics that I feel like Infinity Ward have in the game specifically to get you behind cover. That's it.
That's cool. I like the sounds of that quite a bit.
It's fun, and I haven't tried diving out a window yet. But I mean, again, if I need to get out a window quick, like those drill charges, right? Sometimes those come in. Like that'd be a great opportunity. Like, crap, I need to get out of here and just dive out the building, because those things, you can hear them when they're deployed and they're starting to drill, and like you have a very limited time to get out of there. So that'd be a great opportunity to just dive out the window if you need to.
That seems like a really cool mechanic to help with campers. So which
I
leads
used it very effectively in Hardpoint. Yeah.
Which leads me to my next point. What'd you think of the mini map stuff? Everybody is going nuts about no red dots with suppressors. Controversial.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't care. I don't. As long as here's my opinion is for Warzone, as long as unsuppressed weapons don't show up on the minimap as red dots, I'm fine with whatever they do in multiplayer. I've played it both ways. Modern Warfare 2019 was the same as it is here. Modern Warfare 2, all the previous CODs had the red dots on the map. Battlefield did the same with red dots on the minimap if you're unsuppressed. So it's something I'm used to. I don't care if they do it either way, to be honest. I think a lot of people are just trying to get used to like the map knowledge and stuff, and they want to know where the action is to push there. But I think with a lot of these maps, like this map here is probably my favorite that you guys are seeing in the background. Once you understand like the flow of this map, it's pretty easy to position yourself in the areas where and rotate through the areas where the hotspots are on the map. So I don't care either way, but I do feel for Warzone and DMZ that unsuppressed weapons should not show up on the minimap, because then you're restricting players to using suppressors, right? And I just am having nightmares about, okay, every weapon needs a monolithic suppressor again, you know.
Right.
So I want to avoid that for sure. But regular multiplayer, I don't really care either way. I feel like the game plays fine for the most part, like it is. But again, I don't know how it plays with red dots on the map because it's not in there. So if that's something they try to switch on for week 2 of the beta and see how it plays, maybe. But I really don't care for multiplayer. I feel like it plays fine as is.
Yeah, I don't really get the argument for them that they use of then everyone will camp, because if you're camping, you're gonna use a suppressor anyway. Like I don't get the point of that. And they give you so many tools to deal with campers, even more in this one. You have a camera, you have flashbangs, you have a shock charge, or you have a charge that goes through walls. You have a heartbeat sensor, all sorts of tacticals to throw through there, lethals and stuff like that. And once you learn the maps, you kind of learn where people camp. No barking. My wife's home, sorry. So I don't understand that argument. The only argument that I would make for red dots, and I'm trying to, again, like I do with all these things, like I have my opinion, but I try to see the other side, is red dots are really nice for me, not necessarily to chase them, but to kind of read the map. Once you get good at kind of reading the map and where the dots are, you can kind of tell where the spawns probably are, where they're going to be coming from. Stuff kind of like that is nice, and you can play a little bit faster. I'm personally kind of want to try it without them and hope they leave it off for a while. Then you kind of learn, you focus on, I like the flexibility it gives you. Like you said, you don't have to run a suppressor all the time, and it lets you mess with some other different attachments that maybe do some different things. And also, I think it makes you use your eyes, right? Like you're not just looking at a mini map and going for that dot. It makes you move around the map, look corners and check corners. And as you learn the maps and learn the modes, then you start to know where to check, you know where to pre-aim, you know where to look. You kind of learn where people camp, and there's some growing pains there, and it sucks for a little bit until you learn that stuff. But I mean, that's just part of it. And then when you start to learn, that's where the satisfaction comes in. You know, like I know someone's here because I've learned that, and then it feels kind of good. So,
yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, you said it perfectly. I completely agree with that. I think if they decide to turn it on, I'll definitely see how it plays. But like this map, I mean, I've played this map. This is my favorite map, and like the combat, you can predict where combat's going to be, when the spawns are going to flip, obviously just by where your teammates are on the map. It plays really well as is, but I don't know how it would play with red dots. I mean, I've never had an issue with them in the past. So either way, but yeah, it does make you rely on like you know your audio as well as you know what you're seeing, and also just thinking about what your next move is, what's going on with the enemies, etc. There's Crash googling where to buy weed from again.
I guess so. I think this is the first time I ever got weed commercials, so I think it's something you did. So I think it's on yours. I think it's on yours.
Maybe it could be. I don't know. Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Next question I had. So that was the MIDI map controversy that everybody's up in arms about. Then I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite part of the beta so far? Like, what's your favorite part of the game?
I mean, obviously, I'm loving the gunsmith. I think the gunsmith is awesome this time. They did like, it's kind of feels like the perfect mix between Tarkov and World War III, in my opinion. So it's like it's in depth and semi-complicated enough that there's so much there to get into, which is good, but it's also not overly complicated. So there's like two ways to approach it. You can either do the easy way, because when you unlock different platforms, those weapons will show up in your main weapon list, or you can do it the way I like to do and just get like super complicated and in-depth and weird. But the gunsmith with the weapons is awesome. My other favorite thing would just be the gunfights. I'm having a really good time with the gunfights in this game. I think the gunfights feel it remind it. I don't know what the best way to say this is. The gunfights feel like they have meaning again, whereas and some, maybe the previous CODs, I don't even remember how it felt for Modern Warfare 2019. Like realism, it felt good, but the core game mode of TDM that wasn't realism felt bad because it was just extra fast paced. This is a little slower. Gunfights feel good again, so I like have a blast with the gunfights, and especially just running like some of the LMGs, like just letting those things rip. Like it's so fun and satisfying to get kills.
Awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to shout out in chat really quick. Blue the Robot, friend of the channel, is here. Awesome creator. Definitely check him out. And also, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Frosty, who is in my chat, is one of the developers working with BigFry on the game. So Frosty,
Awesome.
Thank you so much for popping in and saying what's up. Good work so far. It's looking awesome. We can't wait to see and get our hands on it. So yeah, thanks for being here, Frosty and Blue the Robot. Appreciate you guys and everybody else. He said he's lead level design art lead. Howdy fellas. What's up, Frosty? Hey,
awesome.
If you ever get bored and want to talk to some boomers about video games, come on over. No, that's looking good, dude. Looking good, dude. So yeah, we're excited for all that stuff. So gunfights, gunsmith, all looking good. Can I kind of answer that question, even though I have no like reason to answer it?
Yes, please, because you were on every stream, I think, watching. So
I've also seen some clips.
Yeah, go for it. I'm curious what your take is just watching the game so far.
I've seen some clips that got me pretty excited, and I saw one where they were playing S&D and they got the bomb plant down and then used like the tactical camera to watch the bomb and know when the person was trying to defuse it. Mm-hmm. And honestly, that reminded me of Rainbow Six Siege, right? Like you get the plant down. Oh, Modern Warfare commercial.
Yeah, all right.
So you get the plant down, and then like you'll throw a drone on it, like a drone camera, to let your friends watch it in case somebody pushes it. Now everybody knows where I live. Great. Come on over. I'll cook you a steak. We'll drink bourbon. So yeah, I was excited to see that. I'm really looking forward to using some of those new tacticals. I've used those kinds of things in other games. So like being able to use like the drone or the decoy that looks like a person, or the tactical cameras. And I've honestly, like when I watch your streams and stuff, I've been looking at the call outs at top and like trying to familiarize myself with the call outs. I'm excited to learn that. Mm-hmm. And I just want to destroy people with tactical gameplay in S&D and in Hostage. With a lot of those gadgets and like the cluster charges and stuff. A lot of the new mechanics are pretty exciting. Like the tactical stuff. I'm really excited to see what we can do with those cameras. Like with those cameras and good call outs and good teamwork, I think it can be a lot of fun. You can pull off some really cool stuff. Decided to try out the new gadgets.
It is really Siege, right? Siege like, right? Especially for S&D. I mean, that's how you play Siege, is put cameras up so you guys can watch, when they're planning. And you have a drill charge, like camera, drill charge, like perfect Rainbow Six Siege tactic right there. So
there's going to be 100%. There's going to be a ton of stuff there. Like you're going to want to put your squad together with the right tactics and stuff. And you can put somebody can be on flank watch and, like camera spots, like a good place to watch a camera's here because people rotate into sight this way, and stuff like that. Whenever you have cameras up, can your teammates look at them, or is it just you?
I am not sure, to be honest. I think you can. I haven't used them yet, but there is a way I feel other people can look at them. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought I read it in the description.
Okay, I couldn't 100% tell from the clip if like your teammates could watch it and give you call outs, or if it was your camera and you're the only one that could look at it. I wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm. I'm not 100% positive, but you can look at it. And I thought it said in the description, maybe someone to check and I thought you could designate someone else to be able to look at it, or your team can look at it a specific way. Not sure.
Yeah, Bert has a question. You cannot jump in Rainbow Six. Nope, you can't. And you can only mantle very, very few spots. And John over on Twitch, please, if you're still around, ask that question in chat Q&A, because I want to talk about that. I would love to talk about that in here in a little bit. So talked about your favorite part. What is something that you would like to change? What's something that you weren't like super into about? Like if you could change anything, what would it be?
That's a tough one, dude. I guess the only thing I can say is slightly cool down, do something with the jumping a little bit so it's not spammed heavily. Other than that, I don't have anything negative to say about this game right now. So that's it. I have nothing bad to say about the game. The only thing is
This guy.
let's not let's not abuse the jumping mechanic. Make it so there's something there that restricts it to a certain degree. Not saying people shouldn't be jumping and shooting, that's fine, but when it's every engagement, I can see that getting frustrating down the road. So other than that, and that's not even something that's like bothering me, honestly. So if I had to pick something, that's what I would say. Other than that, I have nothing to say right now that's negative about the game.
Alex says in chat that it can be shared with teammates. That's going to be clutch if you
That's
have a
what I
team.
thought,
Oh,
yeah.
man. Oh, I'm going to shit on some bunny hopping Adderall kids. It's going to be great. What about, dude, that weed commercial is getting me. It's so funny. I didn't notice it.
You gonna make some orders after this?
I mean, I honestly hope that comes up again when we're not doing the show, because it's just this dude just like got his hand on his truck. He's sitting by his truck and he's got a big old doobie and he's just smoking it.
What he's saying.
Yeah, I gotta know what he's saying,
yeah.
man. Is he's just like, yeah, some pretty good stuff. Like that's the kind of guy he looks like. What he would be saying, boy. He looks like the kind of guy that would say, boy, I tell you what, and then he'd never tell you what. That's exactly what that guy looks like, and I kind of want to know what he says. It looks hilarious.
I'm curious now too.
So I have a couple questions. I guess there weren't very many maps. Very many maps, not many maps. There weren't very many maps. Speaking of maps, though, one kind of news story I guess we really didn't talk about was that F1 Grand Prix map that we saw first was like pulled from everything. So a lot of folks are thinking that they got into some kind of lawsuit trouble with like F1 having maybe too much trademark type stuff in there. So that map was pulled from the beta. That video that we talked about when they first talked about COD Next, we talked about on this program, was gone. Like they deleted everything about the Grand Prix maps. So that was kind of wild.
Really interesting. Yeah, that's weird, because I know the people that actually got to play that map back in June said it played really, really, really well. So it sounds like they're probably going to have to rework it then.
I hope so. I hope they don't have to scrap it. That would really suck.
I don't know. No, are you kidding me? They just change it so it's not copyright, anything associated with F1. It can still be generic cars, so they're good at doing that. They have good lawyers, so they can get around it somehow.
Hopefully, F1 probably has good lawyers too. So what was your favorite map and your least favorite map?
The one you're seeing on screen is my favorite map. I think this map, like it plays pretty well. The flow is good. Definitely. There's some areas I don't like being in. This map, and then there's another one, which is kind of that like shoot house type map where there's like you're outside and you're inside the shoot house, and that's the best way I can describe it. I don't know what it's called. I love both those maps because I like to work the outside. I don't like to be in the center of either of those, but just because they're a cluster, and I don't really use those CQC type weapons right now. But they play really fun, and this map is a really good time. And the other one that has there's the shoot house type mix. I love sniping on that map. It's so fun. My least favorite map, I think, is the it's I don't know what it's called, the hotel map, I think it is. It's that one. I think it's like a hotel, I believe is what it's supposed to be. I'm not sure the name of the map, but I hate that map. Maybe because I've played it. It's like stuck in the playlist permanently. Especially in a lot of the streams, I had to like leave the queue because it just kept putting me in that map over and over. I mean, it's a good map, but I just I guess I'm sick of it at this point. It's not that it plays bad. It's just a little. It's just I don't know. There's something about it I don't love.
Greenberg Hotel space.
Yes.
Twitch shout out. And then also that was awesome with the 420 super chat. Appreciate that for the weed ads.
Awesome,
so,
love it.
Thanks, man. I super appreciate that. Thank you. Trying to make me laugh, aren't you? Aren't you trying to get me? So along a similar question, what about favorite and least favorite gun? I think this will be a good answer from you, the resident Call of Duty weapons expert.
So I mean, I love the M4. Obviously, it's like very overused because unless you're doing the workaround to get the HK33, it's the only one that you can actually put attachments on. I really like the M4. Honestly, I think there's a lot of things you could do with it, which makes it really fun. With the different receivers. But man, this is a tough one. My favorite gun right now is definitely the sniper rifle, the Lynx. Like every time I get a kill with that, it's the most satisfying thing ever. So I'd have to say the Lynx is my favorite gun right now. Just when you get snipes with that, it's so satisfying. And the sound that thick, like deep thud it makes as a 50 cal. The kills are awesome with that. So I'd say that Lynx or the Sigma 6, whatever it's called in game, it's a GM6 Lynx in real life. That thing's awesome. Least favorite, I would probably say maybe the Benelli shotgun right now, just because you can't put attachments on it. So like it's kind of not great to use as a shotgun. I think we talked about this a little bit during one of the streams. It was just like it needed a little bit more oomph, but one of the default class has the shotgun on it, which has some more attachments, which gives it a little bit extra range, which is better. So I just don't like it because it doesn't come through where I think a shotgun should in some cases, but you can't put attachments on it. So what can you say? But I will say it worked very well in third person. So really, that's the best answer I can give. I don't have any. There's no gun that I hate. So
did you play third person?
Yeah, yesterday's stream was all third person, and damn, it was awesome.
Really, you liked it?
It was actually the most fun I've had in the beta so far, easily. So it was a blast, dude. It was such a good time.
Interesting.
Huh. Yeah, it was really fun.
I usually don't like third person because of the whole like you can see around corners kind of, but where it forces you into first person when you aim, that might help with that. And I feel like third person can also be done correctly if like the camera's really tight and you can't do that as much.
Yeah, you can definitely see around the corners in third person, and you can change which shoulder you want it on the fly. So I can go right or left based on what kind of wall I'm approaching. So like you need to keep that in mind, but everybody can use that mechanic. So you can't really say it's cheap if you can do it too, right? It's just something coming from the first person mode, you got to remember that people are doing that. There's a couple instances in yesterday's stream where like I forgot, like, oh, that guy's probably looking at me right now. And then the kill cam, it's like, wait, what? And it's like, obviously the dude is just watching me from behind cover. So you just got to keep that in mind. But no, it's a lot of fun. And I'm not a big third person shooter either. But I have been having a lot of fun with the Ghost Recon Breakpoint and Wildlands lately. So it's just a lot of fun. I don't know what else to say besides it's the most fun I had in the beta so far. It plays shockingly well. That's for sure.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with that in Warzone. I bet they're gonna have a third person like Warzone and DMZ event.
Definitely limited time modes. I mean, I hope they do, and that's something I think we can customize for like private games too. So that's what I want to see because it's a blast, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't think I'll like it, but I'm gonna try it. Maybe I'll be surprised. That's all I'll say, I guess. I
was surprised. That's because I think the original Modern Warfare 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. In chat, I think the original Modern Warfare 2 had like some sort of third-person mode for a little bit, and maybe Modern Warfare 3. And I remember playing one of them. this feels like it feels. I mean, if I didn't know it was a first person shooter, I would have thought like, oh, they developed this is a actual really good third person shooter title. That's how impressed I was with that mode. It wasn't just like a let's throw something in there to attract third person shooter fans. It felt like it was built to be a third person shooter. So they did a really good job. Like we've talked about, appeasing all shooter fan bases, right? Having something for everybody.
Yeah, they really are going all in on like all kinds of different modes and stuff for trying to get everybody excited. Yeah, I think that's all the questions I had that kind of came up while I was watching. Do you got time for a chat Q&A?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, guys, we'll go ahead and take time to do a little bit of chat Q&A. There has been a lot of questions going on, so we'll try to do our best to keep up with them. One question I did see earlier was about DMZ, and that could be like super interesting to talk about, because it still is kind of a big mystery. They haven't talked about it much, which it's also like, why are they hiding it? You know, is it not done yet? That they've been working on a long time, so like it's scary to think of. I don't know what's going on there.
Like, what is it, 4 years at this time?
They said, I think they worked on it. The insiders said, and then they kind of acknowledged it when they said they've been working on it for a long time. They mentioned that I think the insiders said it was like they worked on it a year or two, and then kind of canned it, and then came back to it. So there's been quite a bit.
Yeah, it kind of got like shelved for a little bit, is what we heard. Yeah.
Pores and Pixels putting you on the spot. 2 questions, Buff. Why'd you skip out on us last night? And also, with that haircut investor, are you prior military?
Man, I would have loved to join you guys last night, but I just got off the stream, and then I was working on videos and had my fiance time I had to do. So I was looking forward to that. So I couldn't skip out on that. But vest and haircut, no, I am not prior military, but I get that all the time. No, I am not. Just a nerdy dude who watched the military channel growing up.
Next question is, this is a good question from Chase. Do you guys think Infinity Ward will give in to all the hate from the COD fans? I think Infinity Ward has a vision for how they want the game to be, and hopefully they will stick to it. What do you think? And I'm guessing he's referring to like the mini map and potentially like the movement and stuff. And a lot of people are complaining and worried about Warzone with no loadouts and perks and stuff like that, and being slower paced.
Yeah. So I mean, what's your take on it first? I'm curious.
I hope that I want to play it first, and I want to play it at release first and see how it plays before they change anything. Let's see Infinity Ward's vision. If it sucks, I'll be right there with you and say I hope this changes. But I want to see how it plays, how it is, in their vision for it first. And it seems like they're kind of going for a little bit slower play style, a little bit more tactical. Full disclosure, guys, I'm a boomer. I know I look incredibly young and spry. But that stuff sounds good to me, so I'm hoping it's good, and I hope they kind of leave it unless it plays terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. I hope I hope they don't give into the community, whatever. But I mean, if they are giving in the minimap, if that's the only thing they give into for multiplayer, I'm fine with it. Like we said, I just don't want them doing red dots on the map for Warzone 2 because we don't want to limit attachments and playstyles. In terms of like Warzone, how the community's reacted to that, I'll be honest, man. I think I'm really excited for Warzone 2 and DMZ. Obviously, if it's going to be playing the same, if not better, I think Warzone 2 that's what I want from a battle royale. I mean, and I think a lot of the creators at the COD Next event were a little like taken aback because they couldn't get their loadouts at the time. But like, you have a limited amount of weapons in the beta, or the version they were playing, the same that was in the beta. So, I mean, what are you going to do? Build loadouts? You could buy attachments for the weapons right there, but loadouts, they said, are going to be there. You can get them at strongholds and probably eventually be able to buy them, whatever it is. But the whole looting, the way you're looting with backpacks, finding heals in the bathrooms, all of that, I think is awesome. So I like you said, I want to see how it plays first before before they shake things up. I really want to see how it plays, because it looks to me kind of everything I've wanted Warzone to be. I think Warzone, we've talked about it in its prime, was really good. Those first 2-3 seasons of Warzone, or like Warzone came out what, like season 2-3 of Modern Warfare. So that first 5 months of Warzone, I feel it was like a golden time, and then it started making changes, and Raven was coming in and doing a lot of things as Infinity War was rolling off. So this is where this is kind of what I wanted out of Warzone this whole time. So it's really good to see. So yeah, I hope they stick to their vision is what I'm hoping.
I think so too. Big Fry says, "Great show, fellas. Dude, thank you for being here, Big Fry. I can't believe you're still here. This show's dog shit. Thank you so much for being here, dude. That means the world to
Appreciate it,
me.
Big Fry.
Pyro with the $2 super chat with the Top Gun reference. Shout out Tom Cruise. Thank you so much, Pyro, for the $2. The more bourbon I drink, guys, the more shout outs I give. I love giving shout outs when I'm drinking. So
I have to. Speaking of, with that Top Gun reference from Pyro, did you see the new Top Gun Maverick yet?
So the next question we have in chat is no, I haven't watched it yet, dude. Everybody's so mad at me too. Everyone's so mad.
I will not be participating in next week's show unless you've watched.
all right. I know you're not the first person to threaten our friendship by saying that, so I know it's important and I need to get on it. I'm sorry. Everyone, I'm sorry. I'd like to formally apologize. I'm gonna make a YouTube video and do the whole apology thumbnail where I look like I'm about to cry, and then it just says I'm sorry, and then the video is gonna be about me apologizing for not seeing the new Top Gun
and not apologize while doing it. Yeah.
And then probably just work my way around it with word magic. It's gonna be sweet.
Love it. Classic YouTuber.
Edward asks, I think, guys, if we miss your question, and it's gone for a while, you could type it again. I'm really sorry. I'm trying to keep up. Crash and Buff, what do you think of no akimbo attachments implemented in the beta? Do you think the change is necessary for fairness and balance? So what do you think about no akimbo?
Well, akimbo didn't come to Modern Warfare 2019 till like the end of the Modern Warfare life cycle. So are we going to see it? I guarantee we'll probably see it. I don't have a problem with it not being there at all, though. I mean, the difference is we have full auto pistols that are actually like viable. So I'm sure there will be akimbo. I wasn't expecting it in the beta, though. I don't think that's something we'll see till a while.
Yeah, I think it'll eventually happen for sure. Pyro asked a question. I wanted to hit his up.
Go.
He asked about, how do you feel about Battlefield Portal 2? Think that'd be killer if they made it free to play and a standalone experience. I do too. I don't feel like they're ever going to make it free to play because that is a different situation than like Warzone 2 or like Warzone where it's free to play. There's nothing like that multiplayer experience. So then you want to go into that to like level up guns and stuff. When you have Portal, you can just make and play like regular Conquest. You can play the just standard vanilla multiplayer experience. So I don't know if it would make too much sense for it to be free to play and standalone. But I do. When Portal was announced, I was really excited about it. And then like everyone else, I got kind of bamboozled by DICE because they said at launch, like, this is just the beginning of Portal. Well, what does that make you think? That makes you think that there's going to be more maps. There's going to be a lot more guns, and they're going to bring I thought it was such a cool way to recycle old content. This is something I fault Call of Duty with sometimes, is they just bring maps in that we've already played for like 6 different titles and they just put them in there. Portal was cool because it gave you the tools to mix and match old content. And I thought it was a great thing that I hoped would take off with the industry because I thought it was really cool. But to the time of this recording, they've added some guns, but they haven't added any new maps or anything to Portal. So I think it was another huge missed opportunity with Battlefield 2042. I hope they don't abandon it. I thought it was something that could have lived on through the next Battlefield. Just keep adding to Portal, and making it big and awesome. But I don't know if they will. I think Portal 2 is a good idea, and I hope they don't get rid of it because I thought it was an innovative way to experience old content.
Yeah, the Portal is definitely something I hope they keep. Obviously, it's smart. Will it be free to play? I doubt it. I don't really think they didn't add enough. Like you said, they didn't add enough stuff to it. So I think they need to just as soon as they fulfill their 4 seasons, is cut and run to create an actual Battlefield game. So, and that transitions to Jug's question. I just want to answer: is do you think Battlefield 2042 is going to pull a No Man's Sky? I think no, Jug. They need to do the bare minimum and get through it and nail the next title.
Agreed. I think, especially since they said in their last developer video that this is the amount of content you can expect moving forward. I think you're going to get 2 more maps, a few weapons, and after season 4, it's done, and you can decide how much you want to put into the next, like how much hope you want to put into the next title, because that's where we're going to be looking for.
Absolutely.
Max,
Earth to Teddy, best COD developer, Infinity Ward. What do I think about Raven?
Oh no, I gotta get my bleeper ready.
Nah, I give Raven a lot of crap on Twitter, but honestly, like, their developers are working hard. They're not the ones, I don't think, making the decisions. And I think at the point they had to follow directions with Cold War implementation, Vanguard implementation. That's obviously, they didn't want to put World War II weapons in a game, I'm sure. It was something that Activision had, the direction the game was that. So, I think Raven has a lot of talented developers. I just don't agree with the decisions Activision has them go in. So, hopefully it's not a Raven problem. It's more of an Activision decision-making problem. So, I hope they learned their lessons. I think with the metrics, so like what worked well in Warzone, what didn't work well, who bought what with the bundles, they know what they need to put it in the store and stuff like that. I think we can have a much more refined experience this time around.
Did you see Austin's question about what you disliked? We kind of talked about it a little bit, but what's the one thing you disliked most about the beta?
I would say, like, there's nothing I disliked. I would just say cool down on the hopping, the bunny hopping a little bit. I mean, I don't have any problem with it, with how it is, but maybe if you continuously are jumping and shooting, each jump gets lower and lower and lower and lower until, like, you're not jumping. You need like a 2-second to recover thing. So like, that would be fine. Yeah, I can just see it getting a little annoying when everybody's jumping. That's the only thing. Other than that, like, I have nothing bad to say about it. And that's not even a major gripe. It's just, it'd be a nice to have.
Max asked, Buff, did you play Modern Warfare on 128 hertz, or excuse me, 120 hertz? Because when I did, it crashed about every hour.
Dude, I honestly don't know what I played it on, because I'm hooked up to my monitor, which is kind of an older one. So I didn't go in and specifically change whatever the setting was, what it was going to play at. So I don't think I did, to be honest, but I know day one it was crashing like crazy for me too. So it seemed like they had that under control Saturday and going forward. So maybe if you try it again, maybe it'll work. But I do need to look and see what I was playing it at, because I don't know. But I am, now that it supports that kind of stuff, I am going to update my monitor.
Off-topic question for Buff and Crash: what's your favorite animated TV series right now?
Ooh.
I'll go first if you need time to
go
think.
for it. I mean, I know my answer, but I want to hear yours.
Oh, dude, I love animated series. Like, it's my favorite thing to watch. Because my wife, like, she always watches like Grey's Anatomy and like Chicago Fire and all this stuff. I'm like,
Classic, right?
I'm like, the worst shit happens in these shows. I'm like, life is shitty enough. I just want to watch something silly and laugh and like escape from it for a little bit.
Right.
I love Rick and Morty. Like, I have to go with Rick and Morty. Definitely close honorable mention would have to go to Bob's Burgers and American Dad. Love those shows too. I watch all the Fox ones, Family Guy, Great North, all those ones, but I Rick and Morty has to take the dub.
Definitely. Yeah. I need to watch Rick and Morty because I never actually watched it, but I do love Bob's Burgers. For animated series, it's not currently on at the moment. There's movies going on and the series is going to come back. But just in generally speaking, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super is just, I've rewatched all that so many times. I'm a huge, the word nerd is in my handle. So yeah, I love DBZ.
I've never watched any of the anime type stuff.
Yeah,
I guess
I
that's
love
not
DBZ.
my brother-in-law does too, and talks about it, and I don't know what he's talking about, but
I even have some DBZ statues over to my left here, so that's how much of a nerd I am.
Spartan asked a good question. I was gonna see, did you see there's a new season of SEAL Team on Paramount Plus?
Dude, SEAL Team. I mean, if you let me know if you've watched it or not, because I haven't.
I haven't.
Okay, yeah, I need to catch up on everything because it looks really good. But my problem is I was so invested in Six from the History Channel, which you guys can watch on Hulu, and that has Barry Sloan, who plays Captain Price, starring in it. But Six was awesome, and that was the first SEAL show like on TV, and then like SEAL Team came, and I think some others. And Six got canceled and just like crushed my soul when I was into it. So I've been hesitant to like jump into something because of just how Six ended. But yeah, I hear great things about SEAL Team. I follow them on like me to keep up with everything. Yeah, new season. So I'm definitely that's something I gotta jump in and watch when I have some time and catch up.
Gotcha. Yeah, I want to too. It looks really cool. It looks kind of terminalisty, and I like that a lot.
Love it.
Yeah, I think that's probably a show, don't you think?
Yeah, sounds good to me. I gotta catch up on some shows with the girl here, so I'm looking forward to that now.
Me too. My wife generally doesn't like my shows, but she actually also really likes Rick and Morty too. So we're gonna go.
There you go.
We're gonna go watch the latest Rick and Morty from Sunday, while we eat supper here.
So like shameless, I have to admit, and this is not something I watch in my own time, but because she's watching it, I'm oddly entertained. Is Real Housewives of whatever. Is just, if you guys want some like mindless drama and just see how messed up people are out there, just like arguments, hilarious to watch. It's great.
I would laugh at that and make fun of you and point and laugh, but honestly, back in the day, I thought Jersey Shore was hilarious and I watched it. So yeah, dude, I can't.
It's awesome.
I can't really say anything. So
the drama's hilarious. Gotta love it.
They got to be doing something right because they're everywhere. Like they have NFL commercials and everything else. Yeah, Buff watches Fortnite, the TV show. True, probably.
Dude,
so.
I do, bro. Don't make fun of me.
So anyway, guys, we will catch you next week. Be back live on Monday, hopefully. All things considered, I will have my hands on the beta by then. So we'll talk about that.
We're gonna have to get some games. We're gonna have to get some games for sure.
Yeah, I might actually do a gameplay live stream on YouTube. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I want to. Oh man, I'm really gonna try. So if you guys are out there and want to play S&D, shameless plug, come to my Discord. I post in the LFG channel. I really want to get a crew of players together to kind of get on the same page and just kick some ass in S&D and hostage. So I would love that. We will get it. It's going to be fun. And I think that's it.
Yeah, we big thanks to everybody. We had some solid numbers on both channels tonight. A lot of good super chats. Avery, thank you so much.
Yeah, we should thank some folks for being here. Not really to say anyone's better than anyone else for being here. I sincerely appreciate every single one of you. I was just telling Buff like right before we went live, I love doing this show. I get so excited for it. You guys make my Monday not shitty. So everyone that takes the time to hang out with us, type in chat, engage in the conversation, share it. You guys be a friend, tell a friend. I can't thank you enough for being here. And just thank you guys, like Avery on Buff's channel, insane amount of support. Thank you so much. Pyro on mine. That was awesome on mine. I had some love over on the Facebook, and Sad Balls with the resub on Twitch, and just everybody so supportive. Great numbers. Thank you guys for being here. It pushes us to make better shows. We're going to keep going with this thing, trying to get better at it. More guests, more information, more fun. Thank you so much. And then that was awesome with the $6.99 super chat at the end. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it. Then we had Road to Vostok. We had Blue the Robot. We had Pores and Pixels. We had Frosty, one of BigFry's developers. BigFry himself was here. Just so many awesome people stopping by the chat, taking time out of their incredibly busy day to say what's up. Means the world. Appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Jake as well over on my end, and just everybody on both sides. The chat's been going going crazy the past couple shows. We've had a lot of interaction. The numbers are going up, so everything's really good. We appreciate you guys. Just the chat, you guys are killing it. So a lot of good conversations, a lot of great questions, and it's awesome just to like sit here while we're talking and see what you guys are saying. So it's great.
It helps the show too, especially with the boomer brain, because I'll see stuff in the chat that I didn't think about. So like, it's your guys' show too. Appreciate it. Mine and Buff's Discord, if you guys have like any suggestions, I have a scope channel, but I'm sure you can hit Buff up there too on his Discord. I have a scope channel for like suggestions and stuff if there's anything you guys would like to see. Again, it is like your guys' show as much as ours. Every single one of you that's been here and watched the program, appreciate you very much.
Absolutely. Yeah, Chase is right. I'm gonna go play Fortnite now, guys. So Pores and Pixels, that's actually why I couldn't do the shows. I was playing Fortnite. Sorry.
Yeah, we all knew.
I know.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Monday, it's going down. All right, we'll see you then.
Take care, guys. Thanks.